Good afternoon, Warren Township Schools. Dr. Mingle here with our school closure update for the week ending April 24th, 2020. We're going to open a little bit differently this time and to focus on what I believe is the right way forward on handling flexible instruction, and that is by leading through empathy. And I'm going to share some comments that represent a diverse array of feedback we have received from both parents and staff members, because I think it's really important for us all to be considering the viewpoints, those that we agree with, those that we disagree with, and to really think about how our personal experience might be similar or different from others in the community. From an elementary school parent, the addition of asynchronous video has been great and really helped both my children understand material and be more independent. It has helped me stagger assisting my children, as before I had to help them both at the same time. And not only was this stressful, it took the entire day to get through everything they both needed. From a different elementary school parent, my child has participated in 2 Zoom meetings for dance and Girl Scouts. Each time, after about 2 minutes, she wants to leave the meeting. She will mostly focus on her own picture, and then she just wants to move on. After 1 p.m., getting any schoolwork done would be torturous for her. I fear that adding synchronous learning would extend her day and would provide little benefit to her learning. I also do not have the ability to have 2 children participate in synchronous learning at the same time. From a middle school staff member, I worry about the safety of my own children during live sessions with students, as my children are 5, 3, and 1, and I am home alone during the workday. From an elementary school parent, the reason no one replies to this survey is because we are not being listened to. All I hear is the same old excuses. The past 30 days have been a complete failure. The Warren School District should be ashamed of itself. You let yourself down, you let the community down, and most of all, you let the children down. From a middle school parent, we sincerely appreciate everything the district is doing during this crisis. I have filled out this survey each week, and I do feel like our concerns have been addressed. We've also had dialogue with teachers when necessary. It is upsetting to read some of the complaints on the forum because so many people have no idea how difficult it is to do what they are asking. Having offered synchronous instruction for the last 2 weeks myself, it is not the solution everyone is hoping for. It has many challenges, and it in no way, shape, or form replaces live instruction in the classroom. I'm comfortable with my child participating if necessary, but I honestly feel like asynchronous instruction is the better of the 2 options. Elementary school parent, I wish the superintendent would share what his expectations are for these teachers, because as we are in the new phase with online learning, he must have some type of expectation that they are surpassing, because he keeps praising them on their superior efforts. And as a parent, I'm not seeing it. That being said, I don't want to belittle their hard work, but I would like to be privy to the fruits of their labor. From an elementary school teacher, thank you for taking the gradual and systemic steps to incorporate synchronous video and learning into our flexible instruction day instruction. It was a sensible and responsible approach. Also, thank you for all the supports that are provided to help teachers reach levels 3 and 4. More specifically, our instructional specialists have been excellent resources. They have been nothing but supportive, knowledgeable, and helpful. I am so grateful for them. From an elementary school parent, thank you for all the work everyone has been putting into this. This really is a tremendous amount of work, and all of the plans and improvements are amazing. The Wednesday field trips are wonderful. My child is engaged and loves the activities. From an elementary school teacher, my stress level is based on today being a particularly long, challenging day in which my working hours were easily tripled. I'm sure others have had days like this already, and I'm hopeful tomorrow will be a better day, but I felt I should be honest. And from a middle school parent, Warren is doing a fantastic job. I'm very happy to see a plan that's developing to include better instruction, but so far it's been great. Our kids will catch up later. What we need now is to be safe and keep them calm and happy. Warren teachers also need to take care of their families. I'm happy to report that after last week's call, we received a significant increase in the number of parents filling out the survey on behalf of their children. And you can see those results here. Generally, our kids are feeling well, which is wonderful to see. We hope that those numbers stay up, and I'll keep sharing our participation rates as we move ahead. We ask our staff the same question. We've moved from a daily survey to a twice a week survey, but we generally hover around the 70% range of our staff that's feeling okay. Another 30 or so percent feeling stressed or worried. That ebbs and flows depending on things that are going on, both in the community and in the school district. And as we've been sharing, last week I started sharing information about areas of strength. First the elementary school, then the middle school. Interestingly, the amount of work is on the list of middle school responses for both a strength and an area of challenge, depending on perspective. Areas of concern at the elementary school have generally stayed pretty consistent. The area of maintaining engagement and focus, managing parent-student work schedules, and interaction with teachers, although I suspect the addition of synchronous learning this week and opportunities for office hours this week and next week will significantly help with the third one on that list. Middle school generally staying pretty consistent from week to week, but I would add that in the most recent survey last week, there was a new top 3 item of feeling isolated or lonely, which is a little bit different than just being concerned about a lack of interaction with peers. Feeling isolated or lonely signals to us that we're starting to move into an area where the long-term effect and the unknowns are creating perhaps some difficult challenges that we need to be paying attention to. And I pointed out earlier, not enough work is on as the third highest area of challenge at the middle school, but the right amount of work was on as one of the strengths of the middle school as well, which I think also speaks to the empathy side and understanding that different people are coming from different places. So where are we? This week, we fully launched asynchronous video and anywhere where it wasn't already in place, and new content is now the name of the game. We also, in many classrooms yesterday and today, launched synchronous video in the form of office hours, which was our plan of how we were rolling things out. That will be finished by next week, and every teacher and staff member will be offering synchronous opportunities no later than next Thursday. We have our Wednesday PD and collaboration time with the virtual field trips as have been scheduled. And then moving ahead, we know that from May 4th to at least the 15th, we remain on distance learning. With this full implementation, our approach remains a asynchronous model with synchronous connection options. I'm pretty confident that we're going to see people feeling much better about the interaction between kids and each other and kids and their staff members, their teachers, as a result of the synchronous opportunities that are coming on board right now, and look forward to seeing that feedback. Where we go after May 15th remains to be seen. We're waiting on guidance from the governor about whether we can return or whether we're continuing in a flexible model through the end of the school year. To that end, there is a question in today's community survey about preferences related to how we use 3 days that are in our calendar right now that we need to replace. So by contract, there is built-in snow days that when we don't need them due to weather, we give them back. And that usually happens by making the last day of school earlier. So the question to the community is that the preference in this model, or would it be better to have some longer weekends for breaks along the way? So I look forward to your feedback on that to help guide the board in its decision making. Other things on the agenda, nothing really different here than last week, but you will see next week a launch of expanded after school activities. Very excited about that. And you'll see at all levels, including across elementary schools, opportunities for increased engagement between students and faculty members in all kinds of really interesting and creative places. We are working towards decision making about year-end events, a little bit tricky because we don't exactly know what happens after May 15th, but we're thinking about things like moving up ceremonies, graduations, trips, all kinds of different experiences that typically take place in May and June. Our summer fun team and extended school year team are working on alternate plans for virtual opportunities in those areas, although there is a need to wait for some guidance from the State Department of Education before we can finalize those plans. And planning for an eventual school reopening, whether that takes place in May or June or September, there are a huge number of considerations that are in place. I personally meet with all the superintendents in Somerset County twice a week, our Watchung Hills regional group pretty much weekly, and that's the case for most of the senior level administrators in the district, so that we can constantly learn from the best practices, not only of what we're discovering ourselves, but from our neighbors and our friends in other places as well. So that's our update for this week. I encourage you to continue to use the survey as I share some individual excerpts from surveys that is meant to highlight the wide variety of opinions. The mass information that we get from several hundred responses is really helpful to know what the general trends are and which ones we should prioritize. And you can see in the way the actions we take each week to make things better, I hope, each week, that we are doing our best to listen to that feedback. Obviously, we will not implement every single thing that somebody asks for or requests or makes a suggestion about, but we are taking that feedback seriously and continue to make improvements. So thank you for your attention and for listening. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you next week.